Hello and welcome back. This is Roblox Studio, the basics. And if you were with us on our last video, we found this truck. We took it from the toolbox. It had some errors. We silenced those errors. And we learned how to do some basic configurations, how to make it faster, how to change the transmission. So in today's video, we are going to add a trailer to this truck. We'll start with that. So let's go to the toolbox. I'm just going to search under vehicle. I'm going to search semi-trailer. Whoops, caps lock on. Yeah, if you search semi-trailer, there's all kinds of, look at that, awful, all kinds of awesome trailers. What about this one here? What it has? Okay. This might not work the way I want it to. we may end up having to make our own custom trailer. So there's two ways that we could find a truck that has a trailer. Let's see. See, I don't like that. This, stuff like that, right? You're trying to add a truck to your game, and it has all this hidden stuff pops up. Let's see this one here. 30 scripts. Oh my goodness. All right, well, here's a decent trailer. Looks like it's got wheels on it. Don't really like the wheels, but that's okay. All right, so we found a trailer from the toolbox. Oh, this is an even bigger trailer. This is basically what I did when, or what we did when we were searching for right. Take that, look at it. Okay, it looks good. All right, so let's take this truck. We are going to take the trailer, we're going to put it into the workspace, and then we're going to take that, delete the tractor cab. Okay, so now we have a trailer. All right, perfect. Oof. It's got a lot of parts to it. This might work. Oh, it is welded together. This might work. This might not work. Let's press play. Let's see what happens. If it's not welded together and I have to weld it together, I am going to grab another trailer. Okay, no, it looks like it's all together. Let's see. Push it. Oh, no. So the other thing you got to check to see if it's anchored. Go to view and properties. It is not anchored. Okay, cool. Oh, that's wonderful. All right, so we're going to take our trailer and we are going to go to model and we're going to go to move, and we're going to move our trailer over our truck. Hey, like that. Perfect. Well, it's a bit long, but that'll do. Okay, so what we want to do, how are we going to do this? Let's see. Let's move this up a little bit. Now we're going to use constraints. Hopefully you know what those are. If not, now's a wonderful time to go over that. So what I use is a rod constraint. So we go over to a rod constraint. Basically what that is, it is exactly what it says. It's going to create a rod between here, which is the truck, and here, which is the trailer. And then we go into the properties of the rod. See, it has a current length. We want to press that to 0. We want it to be as short as possible. And I know then it turns red. And it's saying, look, right now it's a lot longer than it needs to be. So if you press play, right, it forces itself onto there. That's all that means. Okay, good. This is going to work. See, that's what a rod does. Similar to you can use the ball socket. You can use other ones. I like the rod constraint. For me, it just, seems to work out well. So now it seems to be pulling this a bit low. And then what we can do is we can take this attachment. Oops. Where am I? Where's that rod constraint? Where did it go? Now, if I move this, in theory, that should bring up the... Yes. See how it's raised it up? That's looking a bit better. Goes off the attachment height. The attachment height on the back of the vehicle. Okay, so now we have a trailer. And then the next thing we want to do essentially is we want to go create springs. Okay, oops. We don't want to do that. We want to create a spring. And I'll just go from here to here. Okay, and then we have in the properties coils. Change that to 8. 8 is the maximum amount of coils. This line is going to be red, and dampening, we'll set that to 0, and then stiffness, we'll set that to 0. Max force 0 as well, and that way it won't affect anything. It's just an object, a swirly object. All right, we'll do a second one. This one's going to be blue. Essentially, what we're doing here is these are going to kind of look like airlines going to the trailer. All right, and if we hit play, there we go. They're a bit long. That's okay. Maybe we'll make a block on the back, which could be like the trailer hookups, right? Put it in here. Now we're going. Look at that. Now we have a truck, and we have a trailer. Cool. So it's at this point where we have two options. So we can keep it simple, and we can just create a button on the side of the truck. And when we press a button, it attaches the trailer, and it makes everything visible. And when we press the button, it detaches the trailer. You know what? Let's just do that. Enough talk. Okay, so we create a part. We're going to scale it. I'll show you what I mean here. Let's see here. And then what we need to do is we need to weld. Anytime we have an individual part, we want to weld it, and we also want to make sure that it's not anchored. If it's anchored, your chassis won't work because it'll give you a network error, and the vehicle won't move because the vehicle will be stationary. All right, so we have our part. We can rename that. Let's do trailer connect, and then we want to take that part and we want to drag it into the truck. Oops, we don't want to drag it into there. So it's got this blank misc. That is where I like to, anything that I add to the truck, I like to put it in there, in this miscellaneous, okay? Then we're going to insert object. We're going to insert our click detector, and then we're going to insert our object. We're going to insert a regular script, all right? And we're going to get rid of that, and we'll go local equals script.parent dot click detector, right? And then we go button dot mouse click connect function. All right, then we can go, what do we want to do? Script dot parent dot parent. Oh, then the other thing we have to do as well, actually, here, we'll take the trailer and we'll bring the trailer into truck. Let's just try that just for a minute. It either goes into truck or it's going to go into miscellaneous. Ah, yes, perfect. Okay. Now, once all the objects are within the truck model, when a chassis initializes, it'll actually initialize the weight of all the parts that you put in it as well, and it'll allow the vehicle to move as one giant vehicle. Instead, if you leave the individual parts, you're going to get errors and all this kind of stuff. So now we've created one giant model, which is a truck and a trailer, right? All right, let's get back to what we were doing here. So miscellaneous, we have our part. So now what we need to do is we need to find the rod constraint, okay? And we need to drag it into our trailer connect button. And then we need to find the spring constraints, and we need to drag those, as long as they're within the model. It doesn't matter what folder you put them in the model. What I like to do is, if I'm creating a button that's going to do lots of things, I like to have everything that I want to change or modify within that button. All right, and then we'll change this one to, let's say, A, and then we'll change this spring constraint to B, because if you just say spring constraint and there's two of them, it'll get confused as to which one, so on and so forth. There's another way of writing that too. You could say, instance value, everything that has the name spring constraint make visible. Okay, then we go script dot parent, okay, dot rod constraint, dot rod constraint dot enabled, okay, equals true, and we can go script dot parent dot rod constraint dot visible equals true. All right, and we can go script dot parent dot a dot enabled equals true, and then we can go script dot parent dot a dot visible equals true, and that's going to be important here in just a minute. Script dot parent dot b dot enabled equals true. We'll go script dot parent dot b dot enabled dot visible. So now when we press the button, it'll enable the constraints and it will make them visible. All right, now just a moment here. All right. We want this button to do two things. We want it to connect and disconnect the trailer. So what we need to do is we need to go click equals true. All right, and then we're going to add an if statement. So we say if click is equal to true, then do all these things, and then we're going to say click equals false, and then we're going to say if click is equal to false, then click equals true. And we always want to make sure that we return it to true. All right, let's get rid of that there, and we'll add one of these in there. All right, otherwise it won't function. It'll stay false, and you'll be clicking on it and clicking on it, and it'll say, well, I was told to stay false. So then you have to respawn the vehicle so it resets the script. Okay, so we can either write this out again or we can copy and paste. I like to reinforce. So script dot parent dot rod constraint dot enabled equals false. Script dot parent dot rod constraint dot visible equals false. And we go script dot parent dot a dot enabled equals false. And we go script dot parent dot a dot visible equals false. And we go script dot parent dot b dot enabled equals false, and script dot parent dot b dot visible equals false. All right. This is one way of writing. Lots of ways. This is one way. Alrighty, so then if we can close that and we press play. Okay, everything's there. Let's press it. Oh, look at that. Oh, it didn't work. Okay, we have a problem. We have a problem. Oh. I wonder if I have to put an end in there. I don't think I do, but let's just, I might have to just to end that. Maybe I wrote that wrong. Let's see here. No. Oh, this should be else. Else if. Not if. Should be else if. Else if. And that way it's either or. Either or. Yes, that's the one there. All right. There we go. Off, on. Off, on. That's pretty cool, huh? Now the other issue is that we put the trailer off. We don't have any legs on the trailer, so we can add legs to the trailer. You know, we can dive right in. We could, just like we made a button there, we can make a button on the trailer. Okay, so we could select the trailer, for example. And we can say, let's say there. Okay, we can either take these legs. I don't know how long. Oh, not very long. All right, let's do that. Let's make a button here. I'm gonna duplicate this. Okay, and then who knows where it is? There it is. Let's rename that button. Okay, and then we're going to insert object. All right. My mouse is not working. There we go. Click detector. Insert object, script. Okay, so in this case, this is going to be the up position of the legs. So let's select the legs. How do we want to do this? Now, if I group them into a part, let's see. I don't want to break the model, and that's what I'm trying not to do. Sometimes when you group things together, depending on how they have it set up. Yeah, see how I selected the button and it fell off? I'll have to weld that on individually, but the legs remained. So we just go create weld, just like that. All right, and then we have that in our group. So if we duplicate that, and then we move our second model to there. Sure. And we want to make sure that these feet can collide. Okay. And then what we'll do is we'll scale these right up to here. Scale that right up to there. Right. And then we can rename this to down. Okay. And we can rename this to up. All right. I might. Let's just do a quick test. Probably going to have to weld all these parts together. Yeah, I'm going to have to weld the other parts together. right? So sometimes you get these models and you see how many parts that are in them, and I've had to do this. There are welds, thankfully, in here. Some of these parts don't have welds on them. And essentially you got to weld the entire thing together just to get it to work. All right, so we've got up and we've got down. So we're just going to rename this A, rename this B, rename that C, rename that D. Okay, A, B, C, and D. And now I'm going to try and rename. Oh yeah, look, they've got welds. These ones didn't have welds. Excellent. So we'll rename this A, B, C, and D. All right. We go to our button, go to our script, get rid of this. Create a variable for the button, local button equals script dot parent dot click detector, right? Then we go button dot mouse click. Oop. Connect function. Okay. And we are going to say script dot parent dot up. There we go. Excellent. Dot A. Okay. And we've got A, B, C, and D. So now I'm going to copy this. And I am going to make 4 of them. A, B, C. Oh, give me a break. C, D. Okay. And we just go dot transparency equals 0. Okay. And then we can go script parent down A, and then I think it's A, B, C, and D in there as well. So we'll do that. Copy that 4 times. 2, 3, 4. B, C. See, then when I press D, it comes up, which is perfect. So it knows that's the path that you're looking for. And with the same thing, dot transparency. We'll just do this for now. Equals 0. We're going to be adjusting this. This is just getting the what we want. The code. We're just writing the code right now. Equals 0. So, and we're going to go click. Equals false. We can say true actually. All right. I'll say if click is equal to true, then, right? And then we'll go click equals false. So we go else if, as we learned, else if click is equal to false, then, right? Click equals true. And then in between here is where we're going to write the code. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this. It's a lot. Where are we going? Did I hit the insert key by accident? Probably. Yeah. All right. Copy that. Paste that into there just because it's a lot, right? So when up is up, we want to see it. And we don't want to see down. And when down is on, let's just test this. All right? So it should be the opposite. One should be the opposite, whichever that is. But when we press the button, it'll show us, right? Uh-oh. There, see? Now, The starting position, the transparency on these is going to be 1. And we'll say can collide is false. So that's the other thing that we're going to need to add to here. When this is visible, we want this to be can collide is true. So we got to go script dot parent dot down dot a dot can collide equals true. And we have to do that 4 times. So we're just going to copy and paste 2, 3, 4. And then we go B, C, and D. All right. And then we'll copy this. And we'll put that here. Okay. And then we'll make this false. Now it doesn't matter with the short legs because they're not going to, right? They're not going to interact with anything. So then if we hit play, we're now in our starting position. The legs are up and we're in the false, right? Oh, something's going on here. Oh, this is backwards. Right, when we click on it, I think that's right. Let's see. A lot of this is it's, you know, unless you're really super smart, super genius, you just gotta play with it, right? And then this is going to be 1. And this is going to be 0. So we'll disconnect it and just... Maybe I got this backwards. Seems like it. Yes, because when this transparency is 1, meaning you can't see it, you don't want it to be, you want can collide false. Yeah, let's try that. Hey, it worked. Now, they're tall. I'll admit that. They're definitely tall, right? They could be a bit smaller. Again, this is just a quick video just showing what you can do. So we can do that. We can connect it, you know. There. Now we're all hooked up and we're ready to go, right? Drive around. We got our trailer. Same thing. We can go to the trailer doors. We can make a button that opens and closes the doors. Which is cool, you know. Well, and I like buttons. I do. But I also like having a UI with buttons. And then we just click a button on the UI and it does what we want. So we can be in the truck. And we can back into wherever we want to back into, and we just push a button, and there, we're disconnected from the trailer, and we can drive away. Okay. All right, that's going to do it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.